please take a moment to increase the brightness on your device for optimal viewing. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Sketchy Friendler, where every day I tell you a story and I draw a picture to go along with it. But first, before we get going, just want to remind you guys that yes, I am drawing in blue pencil. That will end and I will continue on with regular pencil, so just bear with me. Second, if this seems too dark for you, just crank up the brightness all the way up on your viewing device. And last, if you're watching this on your cell phone and this image seems a bit small to you, then turn your cell phone horizontal and then the image will magically become larger to fill up your screen. And without any further ado, let's do this. So today I am going to talk to you about my trip to Disney and the one peaceful, quiet moment that I had that wasn't sleeping. All right. We visited Epcot last week, my wife, daughter, and I, for my daughter's primarily for my daughter's homeschooling. It was a way for her to do a course about different countries. We visited different countries at Epcot, and we stayed at a resort that's nearby. It's a Disney resort. It's called the Boardwalk Villas, and it's I might have mentioned this on another video, but it was really cool because I thought that when we went there, it was just going to be staying at like a regular hotel and just a place for us to kind of go to sleep once we got back. But it was like, my wife made this observation, but it was like an apartment building. So, it had like a little kitchen, like a full kitchen with an oven so we could cook up breakfast every morning. Had like a little breakfast nook, that a little table there that we could eat at. And it also had a large bathtub, like a jacuzzi tub type situation. And the first night, it was, leading up to the trip, it was really stressful because we had to get, everything, couldn't forget anything, and lists of things we had to get done, a lot of logistic stuff, and really stressful. And we were running behind schedule. We got to the hotel at about 7 p.m. We wanted to get there maybe an hour and a half earlier. And that didn't happen. So we ended up getting there about 7 p.m. Then we went to the park to watch the fireworks that first evening that we were there. And then we came back and then settled in and put my daughter just to bed. And then we were finally able to just kind of unwind and decompress. And what I did, my feet were really sore. I was just sore. I've been carrying stuff, for the past day or so, get loading up the car and just moving stuff around. We just wanted to get the house all, ready to go away. And I was tired. I'm always tired, but I was really exhausted. And I wanted to get into the tub, so my wife drew up a bath, and she was just soaking her feet because her feet were really kind of hurting. So she was soaking her feet for a little bit, and then I climbed in, and she just sat there beside the tub while I just soaked, and we just chatted, and it was just nice. It was like we'd been really stressed out that couple weeks leading up to it. Just a lot of stuff was going on, and it was just nice to be able to just kind of settle in and relax and talk with her and just kind of reconnect. I think we really needed it. And when you go on a trip like this, you don't expect to really have any quiet time. I mean, you're going to go to the park, right? And then at the end of the day, you're going to be exhausted. You're probably just going to crash out when you get back. So that was not something that I expected. But we were able to, just relax. It was really nice. And I really appreciate those moments because, you get so caught up just in regular everyday life that you don't, sometimes you forget about or overlook, or you just feel like you don't have time, or you're so running so fast you can't stop to kind of think about, nurturing your relationships and friendships, and especially like when you have a kid, because they're very central to whatever's going on, and especially because the trip was mainly about my daughter, right? So it was really nice. I really appreciated being able to spend that time with my wife, and it really helped. I mean, we had a really good time on this trip, and I think even now, it's been a week. I think it's still we're back to the grind, and it's definitely stressful. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, when you're doing social media, they think it's just like this cakewalk that you just kind of don't do anything. You just kind of shoot some video, and that's about it. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, like with trying to figure out how to do so, strategizing, meetings that you have to take, figuring out how the algorithm, or try to predict how the algorithms might work, trying to always be kind of one step ahead of the social media platforms that you're producing content for. It's very time consuming, and my wife does the bulk of it. Like, that's her thing. She's like really techie, and I'm not. Like, I do this drawing stuff, and that's the drawing stuff. It's it takes work, but once I'm done with it, I'm done with it, and I just kind of hand it off to her, and then she then edits it, post process, does all the color correction, all the hard stuff, all the not so fun stuff that I mean, she likes doing it, but it's kind of tedious work, right? And I don't understand it, so it's not easy for me, and I don't think it'd be easy for anybody that's not trained in it or has practice at it. So it was nice to be able to spend that time to just relax, and then that's since carried over. I feel like we kind of like it was a much needed recharge, and I'm really grateful for this trip. It really was needed, and not to say that it's like been like a horrible experience at all. No, it's just stressful, and that's why we take vacations or take little trips. Anybody does, right? You want to kind of recharge, step away from what you're doing all the time. That's why I do it. And it was fun. This trip was fun. I know I'm not going to forget it. I hope Anna, my daughter, has good memories. I know that my wife, she's going to have memories of the trip. And the one good thing about being, a content creator for social media is a lot of it's documented. So it's not just your memories. You actually have footage, video documentation of all these things. And then I have my videos here that are my interpretation of it. So there's that too. So I think, if you can, you should always definitely try to make time to take little vacations, but also like use that time if you can, or if you can't even in your regular life, just try to do things where you can kind of step back and relax and kind of nurture your relationships. Because, it's just like having like a plant, a potted plant. You gotta take care of it. You gotta work at it and keep it healthy. And I think a lot of times people forget that. So I was reminded of that, so I just wanted to pass that along to you guys. And if you can, I would say if you can get to Disney. It's not the cheapest thing, but if you can, do it. We live relatively close, so it's definitely easier for us because we don't have to go out of state or anything like that. So I think that even with a short trip that we did was huge. And I kind of think like if it was any longer, if the trip was longer, I might have started missing home more or feel like we weren't attending to the things that we need to in order to keep our livelihood going. Because that's the other thing about social media. You can't, it's like a regular job. You can't just not do it. You can't not show up to work. You gotta do it every day. And I would even say this job, you're spending more time than a 9-to-5 job because it's like you're always on call, always doing something. If you're, my wife is up a lot of times still really early in the morning working on stuff. So just a little insight into, how our life kind of works. I don't know. It's there's pluses and minuses to everything. Like the plus is definitely we get to spend time together more as a family. We're at home, but it's constant work and constant kind of stress to think about things and stay ahead of everything because you can't let things really slide with these types of jobs. Because the internet doesn't wait for anybody. It just keeps on moving, and if you stop, it'll move without you. You get left behind. But it's worth it to us because we can go on these little trips and my daughter can do homeschooling, which is great. All right. So yeah, I would say, this is not an advertisement for Epcot or Disney Springs, but if you do go there and you stay at one of the resorts, if you're planning, check out the Boardwalk Villas. I recommend. All right. I think that should do it for today. I am on here Monday through Friday, as you know, on YouTube and Facebook with these types of videos. On Saturdays, we post a poll where you get to pick whichever your favorite video from the week was. And then on Sundays, I do a live where I will ink and color in one of these drawings for you. And then on Instagram, I always post the finished images from the previous day that I do on these videos. If you just want to take a look at the picture or you just kind of want to preview. And then on TikTok, I do completely different videos or time lapse that take you all the way through inking a different drawing than these, and they're about 2.5 minutes long or so. And I will tell a short little story or a thought, and then you can watch that. There's some little music going on in the background too. It's really fun. I recommend that too if you have the time, or you don't have the time to watch these longer videos. Go watch me over there. Other than that, I've got some limited edition merch up on the AMCPrincessAnna.com website. The shop tab, there's a Sketchy Friendler collection, and we've got limited edition sweatshirt, digital print, and mini tumblers with the AMC Princess Anna Princess and her castle drawing that I did. So it's kind of like a crossover AMC Princess Anna / Sketchy Friendler drawing, and we've got both the logos on those as well. All right, I think that should do it. I will sign off right now. Again, as always, I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.